Welcome to One Heart TV. This is Johanna One Heart with Ben Leinbach, my producer out in San Anselmo. Sing along if you know it. My heart beats one, your heart beats one, this heart beats one. Our hearts beat as one. Feel the heartbeat of the world. All right. Short, sweet lives, we're all searching for the light, the same light that makes trees thrive. Our roots grow down, our branches reach for the sky. I know inside that you and I share the same heart, the same soul, yeah, the same love. And I know, oh, everybody, my heart beats one. Your heart beats one. This heart beats one. Our hearts beat as one. My heart beats one. Your heart beats one. This heart beats one. Our hearts beat as one. Feel the heartbeat, beat the heartbeat. Share the heartbeat of the world. Feel the heartbeat, beat the heartbeat. Share the heartbeat of the world. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh. Beautiful family. I'm so happy to be here. One Heart TV. Johanna One Heart here. I'll be interviewing Grammy Award nominated composer, producer, and multi-instrumentalist Ben Leinbach today. One Heart TV features consciousness expanding interviews with luminaries to heal the world. Connect with artists and healers from around the globe about how to create your ideal life. Share practices, music, and virtual community to help inform a new way of being. Hi, Ben. Welcome to One Heart TV. I'm so happy to see you here today.
Thank you, Joe. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Well,
We
it's
usually
been
are hanging out in the studio making music together at least a couple times a year, and now we're all relegated to online stuff. So this is good.
yeah, it's
You know,
wonderful.
you've been really active. You've been getting all sorts of online stuff going, right? This whole One Heart TV, plus
Yeah.
keeping various music collaborations going.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. You adapt.
Well,
You're adapting.
I am adapting. One of the things that I do, as you know, is yoga. And one of the things about yoga is flexibility. And that's not just of the body. My body is not
Yes.
necessarily as flexible as you might think of a yoga teacher being, but my mind and my heart might also need to be flexible with that practice. And so that's,
Indeed, that is a good lesson. I think COVID is teaching us all that,
yeah.
the adaptability factor.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen artists who have made their living 90% of their income was from performing, traveling, playing festivals, playing workshops, playing retreats, and all that dried up in a day or a week. And I've watched them, you know,
We do it as a band.
adapt and create like incredible online courses and online performances and and online sanghas and the whole bit. So, question is that is anyone ever going to want to leave their home?
I know, right?
Don't want to leave the home at all. My kids are fully,
Got it.
they're fine just being in their rooms right now, interacting with the world through social media and whatnot. It's a little scary, but
Right.
you got to kind of
Yeah.
pick them out and be like, God, call a friend, text a friend. You can get a mask, go for a walk, something. Oh my God.
Yeah, it
I mean,
has
we already
been.
had enough of a battle with trying to keep our kids off social media, and then COVID hit, and it's like, well, it's their only connection to the world. It's their only socializing, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, we've learned how to adapt. We've learned how to do things safely now as well. Like you can actually get out of the house and see people, stay outside, wear a mask, stay
Mhm. It's
7
true.
distance and whatnot.
It's taken a while for all of us to figure out how to do that safely. And outdoors has been considered safe, and recently up here in Oregon they decided that we're on lockdown again, like more than 4 people over Thanksgiving not allowed.
Wow. Wow.
So, we are moving into a long, dark, cold winter. And so, with that, I've really just been looking at my practice and looking at my music and all of, like you're saying, I've been adaptable. It's actually just a way of staying sane, to stay connected with you and other humans in the world. I'm normally, like, on the road 8, 10 months out of the year, connecting with all of you where you are or at festivals, like you were saying. And so it's been really to be adaptable to uh, the new ways of connecting and being able to have that growth mindset beyond the technology, which always causes problems,
Yes.
to find, the gift in that, the gift in one heart, that we're all connected no matter whether we're it's told to stay at home. We can always tap into universal consciousness or to Zoom or to StreamYard
Yeah.
and tune in. um
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I've actually felt like I've actually preferred some of the online stuff because I don't have to get in my car and drive anywhere. So that's plus things online are cheaper, right? If I want to take a course online, it's cheaper than going down to the local college and whatnot and enrolling.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
And it's
So
been, I feel like I've been in grad school for the last 6 months, and I know that you've been a little bit a part of that. You are already award winning in your compositions and your producing and all of that. And I know we were in the middle of working on a couple of projects, a couple of albums, and we kind of had to hit a little bit of a pause and recalibrate on how do I record from home and step into some of the shoes that we've had to work together because you have pro level equipment. I am just so grateful that you stepped in so many times to kind of help me out of my technological hole and fear, because you've got the pro level tools and you've been able to, very humbly share and help during this uncertain time. And how is that for you in this new world with working with artists? I see you've got a new screen behind you for COVID coolness, a little glass shield so people can sing still in your space. Is that
yeah,
right? How else have you adapted?
I bought a bunch. I bought a couple sets of plexiglass panels, 6 feet high by 2 feet wide plexiglass panels. Um,
Mm,
one around the microphone there, and then there's another one I wrap around my area, my work area, which allows people to come in, and we just kind of stay in our zones and
yeah.
able to continue to record. I did so much stuff remotely beforehand, which was great. I mean, it ended up being great, obviously, because that's what we're doing now. But because I'll work with people all over the world, and sometimes we don't even interact, we don't even meet. I did a whole album with a guy from Argentina several years back. One of the album I did with Deva Premal and Miten, Lula Mantra.
Mm-hmm.
They were in Australia. We never actually were in the studio together. They would just send me vocal files, and then I'd add the production and whatnot, and send them demos, and send them out.
Speaking of, I think that sounds quite familiar. I remember maybe 5, 10, between 5 and 10 years ago, maybe less, closer to 5. I I found you, and I had seen you at festivals. We'd kind of crossed paths, and Benji Wertheimer, our friend from Shantala, sent me your direction. I was working on my first kirtan album that I was actually self-producing with no engineering capabilities because of just having so many of you producers that I wanted to work with. I I felt like we couldn't work together because of the distance. And you're like, hey, dude, I love working that way. That's actually my favorite way to work. Send me your stuff. Let's see what we can do. And you mixed this beautiful album called Heartbeats One. We just opened our TV show with a new version of Heartbeats One. It's going to be a universal non mantra remix. But I was just so impressed by your capabilities from afar that really this day is no different than that day. How many years ago, in some ways that we're still able to. Now I'm flying files back and forth between people, and I'm able to do some of my self production in the engineering chair. I never thought 10 years ago I would be doing that.
Right. So it was a little different 10 years ago because we didn't quite have um, the video capabilities. So what happened was you'd send files to an artist and you'd sort of send them notes and be like, it might be a cello player or something. Here's the vibe. Here's what we'd like you to do. Try out a few passes, whatever you feel, and then give us something in this vein. Maybe not too busy. Maybe give us some low drony notes as well. Um,
yeah.
but what's great now is that, so the problem was back then is that you get files from people and it might not be exactly what you were looking for, so there'd be a lot of back and forth. So you'd send them notes and be like, hey, can you give us a little bit, some variations on this theme or what have you. But now with Zoom and Skype and whatnot, you can produce the sessions. So you're still you're still sending files back and forth, but then you can actually tap in while the artist is recording their parts and produce the session and guide the session, which
Yeah.
has turned out to be way more efficient, actually. Cause remember back in the day when everyone was in the studio together, the
Oh
artist, the
my.
producer, the whoever was the instrumentalist, whoever was performing on the
With
track.
no masks,
So
no
here we are.
screens, nothing. We were just singing inside
Yeah, but
with no
it
abandon.
got weird for a while where we were just sending files back and forth and getting random, takes from people. But now we're back to a place where you can actually be together again. I have a session
Yeah.
this afternoon with a good, great guitarist, Cohen Matthews. He's played on several of your tracks.
Actually, he played on the song that's in the background right. Meow.
Guru Dave, or which
This
one?
is Guru Dave. Can you hear it happening right here, right now? Let's just tune this up. This is a tune off of our new album, Mantra Soul, that Ben and I just put out. Uh, and this is a song that I recorded. This is the first song I recorded with Ben producing there in San Anselmo.
The first one. Oh, right, because we mixed Heartbeats One.
So Gowan was just playing a little bit of a beautiful lick in there, Gowan Matthews. Yeah, so you have a session with that brother this afternoon, huh?
Yeah, and the artist Prema Love from Hawaii, great kirtan artist, she's going to be skyping in as well or zooming in. So,
Wow, I really
so
love Prema. Her voice is so soulful. Actually, I'm so glad you mentioned her. She's been in my mind and heart. One of my friends is out in Hawaii for the next month and was asking who I know out there. And these two Shakti sisters should know each other. So
yeah,
Akansha Maheshwari that danced on our Mantra Sangha music video recently.
okay, yeah, yeah. She's got a soulful voice, man.
Oof,
It's got something special. Yeah,
super special. Well,
and the whole
I'm glad she's recording with you.
yeah, it's been good. It's been a while actually. We started a couple of years ago, and then there was a long pause, and so we're in the process of finishing up now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I also hear you've been having some other projects in this time. I'd love to talk a little bit about them, Ben. You've been also, like me, spending your time not just sitting watching Netflix, but creating. You've been you've been doing some awesome things. So, I'd like to actually ask you a little background on this uh, track from Mock
Mock Phoenix, yeah.
Phoenix. Let's listen a little bit to this. Here's the single cover here.
Here's a song for the fearful, for the ones with little hearts. Here's a prayer for the weary, for anyone afraid to break apart.
Oh, I'm already wanting to sing along. I love that, Ben.
Mellow vibey thing. So, you know,
Can you turn your volume up just a little bit on your microphone, brother?
yeah, check 1, 2.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
feeling a little better. Then we can listen to this
Put on my
beautiful vibe
headphones.
in the background.
Let me put on my headphones because the speakers are starting to feed back a little bit. Check. So, a lot of people get irritated that the large companies like Google and YouTube, they know so much about us and they can just sort of steer us in a path towards our likes. But there are some great benefits. I was just letting YouTube kind of roll one evening, and while I was whatever, I don't know, paying bills or something, and all of a sudden it landed on this guy. I was like, "What is this?" It's like, this is a sound that I can dig. It was like deep. It was lush. It was cool chord changes, great kind of electronica programming on the drums, and soulful voice, and kind of had the searching quality that I like in music. Do you know what I mean? Um, and I was just like, "What is this?" And it was this guy, Mock Phoenix. And I ended up just sort of like, whoa, and I ended up just like listening to a ton of his material, and then I tracked him down on in his remote island lair in the country of Malta, through Facebook. Um, and I just started a conversation with him, and he probably thought I was a weird troller. I don't even know what that means actually, but you know, um, but I think I dropped enough in that first interaction that he knew I wasn't a nut job. So we just started a correspondence, and I just one day I threw out, I said, "Hey, you got any spare melodies around? Spare vocal tracks that you like, and you send them my way. I'll do a beat if you like it. We can proceed from there. If not, no biggie." And he sent me that vocal.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Ooh, this is how we grow. Woo! Man, he's got pipes. I always loved your taste in music. We have a similar kind of haunting taste in the subtle parts of music. Although I tend to get a little bit more ramped up than you do. I love your laid back style. That's one of the reasons that I love working with you on my mantra music, because you lay it back in the pocket.
Right. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's got a really nice vibe. So you can check that out at benleinbachmusic.com, that and other collaborations. He also has a new song, and we actually have a new song that's going to be coming out soon that's got the same word in it. This one's called Faith, and it's pretty groovy.
The clean version?
I have the radio version. Are you ready?
Radio version. Do you want me to talk about it a little bit beforehand?
Yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about faith, brother? Tell me what you think about faith.
Saying, I sent you as for this interview, I sent you the cover of Faith, just as something to show,
Yeah, that's going to come up in a minute here.
That I've been working on. And then you asked for the MP3, and I thought, uh-oh. So, because I dropped the F-bomb probably about 16 or 17 times throughout the songs, you know. And then I thought about this interview, and I reread the flyer, you know, like the luminaries trying to help people lead a better life. And here's this song where I'm just cursing out the world essentially. So I did want to like talk about the song a little bit, you know. I mean, I guess to me, you know, life is so much about the duality of things. You know what I mean? It's like it's the 10,000 joys and the 10,000 sorrows, right? It's the light, it's the dark, it's the joy. Joy is the suffering. Did I say that already? Yeah, 10,000.
Yeah, I think
So
I
this
said
song
in
is
my
kind of that. This song was like you're caught in the middle of it, and you're looking at the world. And you know, I finished the music a while back, but the lyrics they were in flux forever. So I actually finally finished the lyrics maybe early summer, right? So we had COVID, we had racial issues, major racial unrest. We had the election stuff starting to just coming up. We had the divisiveness in the country, and California was heading into another fire season. So we just had all this insanity going on, and so the hook ended up being using the F-bomb um, as a way to describe the world. But you know, it's also like it's also put over kind of an upbeat, peppy, almost danceable tune, and the song is also full of hope. And it's like you're kind of in the middle there. It's like, yes, life is beautiful, and I feel like things will improve, but man, is it messed up right now. And maybe it always has been that way. But so it's not just me ranting and cussing out the world. It's actually hopefully can be seen as a little deeper than that. It's sort of like you're kind of caught in the middle of it all. It's like yes, it's beautiful, and yes, it's insane, and humans are great, and oh my God, look at these terrible things they're doing to each other, and just trying to kind of cope with that um, duality.
nice.
But anyway, so someone emailed me and said, "Hey, do you have you know, I run a radio program, and do you have a clean version? I like this song. Do you have a clean version?" So I actually changed. I took out the F bomb and I put in the word "twisted" instead of "effed up world." I put in "twisted world," and it doesn't nearly have the impact that the F bomb does. You know.
All right, well, let's give it a listen then.
Yeah, so you can check it out a little bit if you want.
Yeah. From the top now.
Anyway, so you know, it's a little bit of a departure. I do a lot of kind of more ambient old music type of stuff, but you know, I grew up listening to pop music and rock music, and man, Steely Dan was a big favorite, and Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith, and Van Halen, you know, Hall and Oates, you know, just the good pop music and whatnot. So you know, occasionally I like to pop out a song or two like that. It's just kind of fun.
It's great. I love it. And it kind of reminds me, when you put this out, I was like really excited, but also I'm like, wait, I'm about to release an album with that word or the song with the word in it. And do you remember this co-write I came with you to you? I think I got off of an airplane with this free write around, what's happening in the world and the matriarchy and coming back to that and, feminism in the modern day, but in a spiritual context. The Shakti United theme song, if you will. Right. And we just actually, I'm going to play a little bit of it right now because it's got kind of an upbeat feel and it's really what the world is calling for right now. Like we need the medicine right now that we can stay positive, stay illuminated, stay within our hearts, even in the face of uncertainty and growing, fear and all of the things that are happening in our division, that are happening in our culture. To have faith is so strong. And I know that you used to produce a bit of gospel music, and I came up singing a little bit of gospel music. I was a folk songwriter, but I also learned from Isaiah Jones, who moved to my community with a vision from Spirit that he needed to bring faith to the white people.
The white people, nice.
Not specifically to a small town that was not infused with the kind of spiritual and religious faith that he had grown up with in the east side of St. Louis, and then via Los Angeles and a touring band he ended up in my community, and he taught all of us white people how to sway and sing and clap at the same time.
How did you? That must have taken months.
It was years, I have to tell you. My formative years, I was like, what's exactly? So my hat's off to so many traditions that have come before, because we don't have the ancestry to have rhythm and sing at the same time. And so I just feel really grateful for that. And that's kind of part of my new album, Mantra Soul, was fusing the gospel of the East with the gospel of the West, because all paths have touched me in this world. And it's so important to bring them together. So I'm going to just share a little bit of this United in Love mastered track that we're just finishing up. We'll be releasing it in the new year, along with an album of conscious music in inspirational English language this time, mostly. So I'm excited about that. Give it a listen. And yeah. You can pick up some t-shirts at johannasings.com here too.
Through the eyes of our children, what do they see? A different kind of world than it used to be. We've got to lift them up and look into their eyes and guide them to reach for the sky. Yes, we've got to have faith and love and synchronicity. We've got to breathe in love and exhale all the greed. We've got to stand in light, ignite the dark. We've got to fight for love, illuminate our hearts. Love, 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 we are free to return to the mother, take care of one another, united, non-violent, no, we won't be silent, give and receive, stop and breathe, so I stop and breathe, I stop and breathe, stop and breathe, stop, so I stop and breathe, I stop and breathe, stop and breathe, stop.
I guess you're going to have to buy the album to listen to the rest. But I think it goes on with something like this: sisters and brothers, a change is going to come. Daughters and mothers, a change is going to come. Children empowered, a change is going to come. Balance of power, change is going to come. Anyway, so this is the world we're living in right now, right? These prayers for unity and faith during division and uncertainty. I always think of, during this time, it's been really one of my lifelines has been thinking of what is the opposite of victim? Because right now we've been victimized a little bit. A lot of us are feeling a little victimized. Oh, we got to stay at home and we got to be, and there's fires and there's fear and all of this. It's creativity. The opposite of victim
Absolutely.
is creativity. So if we stay in our heart, is what are you finding? Is that your lifeline also?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this period, I figured there was going to be a whole downturn in terms of artists wanting to or being able to fund or recordings, and I thought things would slow down drastically in the studio here, and it did happen initially, right when they did the first sort of lockdown in March or so. It did happen. There were a couple clients who were like, "Yo, I got to put a pause. I don't know where my next paycheck's coming from," that kind of thing. But man, I mean, it just was a couple weeks, and then just like people, just artists came storming back. They're like, we are, we're at home, we're creating. The world needs this healing music, this uplifting, unifying music, and artists have just been fired up. I've been super busy, and so
It's great to hear, Ben, because your chops they should be used. And I've been so grateful in just we've already had so many projects that we're already almost done with, and then now I keep wanting to make more music. So I'm kind of at this point where I'm like, how do I balance this out? Because I really want to release this stuff, but also in this world we have to put together a video and pictures and da 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 da, all of this graphics, all of these other things, and I just want to keep creating the actual music part is what falling into, is that the rest of it, because I'm not touring, has become much more difficult. I'm not headlining, I'm not at a festival, I'm not doing the tour, all of the things that support the music getting out there aren't happening at the same caliber as they were or at all right now because we're asked to stay at home. I always kind of envied that you had this production gig that you could be at home and chill out and hang out with your family and work and then come to a festival every 6 months and hang out with us.
right,
It was such a
right.
relaxed pace. And now I'm like, oh, that's what it feels like. Isn't that nice? But now you're so busy because people already know you're at home ready to help them.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. At times I look at y'all and out there having fun touring around and playing gigs and thinking like I'm just stuck at home in my garage in the suburbs. But it's actually, the fact that that was kind of how I was working, for years before COVID hit. It's just allowed for some continuity in terms of employment, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually it's been I've been super blessed. What I mean? I remember reading the news and people getting evicted and losing jobs and businesses closing and people dying, and I'm quarantined here alone in my studio and hecka busy creating
Right.
music.
What a blessing.
It's been fantastic.
What a beautiful blessing that you were set up. And I'm finding, I was on the road and I had to choose where I was going to land. And I had an opportunity to stay really isolated alone at a cabin in the Sierra Nevadas or find a community. And I landed back where I started. So grateful to have space. And I'm in a beautiful sanctuary where I have everything that I need to do all of this live stream stuff. I have the music and the video studio for yoga, and I would not have been able to do that from an RV on the road. So what a blessing. um, and so I want to tune in a little bit. I know that you have a session that you got to get off onto with Gowan. Tell him hello and thanks for all of the beautiful audio vibes throughout the years. I have not yet met Gowan, and that's how deep this digital world
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, he's a mystery. But
How many albums has he played on for me? 3 now? 2 or 3?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a what's a
He's
mystery,
the secret weapon. He's the secret weapon.
He sure is. But give him my love, brother. And so we have 2 albums coming out this year. Johanna One Heart is my new name. I will be rebranding as I come back forth with this Spirit Song Soul album. And that's all conscious music, uplifting lyrical content, and super hooky poppy vibes. What do you have to say about that project, and then also a really opposite side of the spectrum project, a yoga and meditation album that's mostly instrumental and haunting vocals that are quite ethereal, that kind of drift into your subconscious. So these are our 2 albums, yet to be named the yoga meditation album.
Right.
But I just find it so fun that we have so many different musical facets, both of us, and that you're able to, as a producer, follow my very, very dynamic personality musically down all of the rabbit holes and somehow come out with a consistent sound.
Oh,
um,
thank you. Thank you.
yeah, in our co-productions, I feel like you really listen to who I am and how it wants to be expressed. And I guess the question would be, how is that for you as a producer, that you're able to see someone's essence, and everyone has a different essence, and still serve its highest good, and and moving it into the world?
That's a great question. And I'm, it was well put. I'm honored that it's seen that way. That I enhance the essence of the song or someone helping stay. What is the word? You know, um, don't stray from an artist's essence. You know what I mean? It's like you're enhancing who they are
Yeah.
versus kind of changing or redirecting who they are. And I can't really put any like a specific technique or words to it.
Hmm.
I think it really is just like it's probably it's deep sonic empathy. It's
Yeah.
basically just like this feeling what an artist is bringing and wanting to enhance that or make the presentation even more powerful. Um,
Absolutely.
and there's something that I've learned over the years when I've tried to do like sound alikes. Like I make music for like TV and film libraries and whatnot, and they might send out a little notice saying, "Hey, we need something that's kind of like trip hop with Middle Eastern sound or something, or we need some kind of acid jazz thing for a TV show about the '90s or what have you." And I'll try these things, but when I'm not doing something that I really feel, it doesn't seem to be very successful.
Right.
So
That.
it feels a little contrived. This doesn't quite have the X factor.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
the last thing I'd want to do is to somehow not to sort of misinterpret an artist and lead them in the wrong direction and have them end up with an album where things are incongruent. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
music doesn't seem to be really kind of accentuating who they are or what they bring. So
Yeah.
it's mostly just that. It's mostly just sort of feeling. Just I've always felt music at a deep level. You know what I mean? I mean,
Hmm.
it's been like it's what's kept me sane, really, because I grew up in a family where we weren't, we were like stoic wasps. We didn't really talk openly about emotions. So when I found music and I found a way to like emote or to even feel emotion when I played Led Zeppelin 2 again and again, I was just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I can feel now, I can feel emotions.
That's so
And
powerful. And it comes across in your music, like your new single, um, with Joaquin. What was his name? It
the
was not
Mock Phoenix.
Mock
You
Phoenix.
you got it.
Mock. Yeah. So I actually got the vibe with him. He really sounded a little bit like from sorry, his name just popped out of my head, but the whole time I was hearing this man from the 70s singing, David Bowie.
Oh,
There's
Bowie.
a little bit of a Bowie sound to that, like a
Mhm.
modern day Bowie sound. Really, like a lot of juicy feeling and a beautiful delivery of kind of a really soft and sweet voice.
Yeah.
I think it was like it's like a down tempo David Bowie feel. And I just really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I actually just I need to let you go to your session pretty soon, but I wanted to tune in and just say I was asked to produce someone's music recently, and I found myself at first totally upper limiting, and then kind of tuning in with you and with Hans Christian, another producer that I worked pretty close with over the last 5 or 10 years, for tech support, and finding myself really putting my hat very down for you guys. Really hats off to you for all of the work that you really do in capturing an artist's essence. And I found it to be a lot harder than I thought it would be, and at the same time a lot easier because I've been working with pros like you and Hans for so many years and watching you use these tools. And as a woman at this time in the world, it's so wonderful to have men who are there to help and support in any way that you need as a human being. Anyway, like I need help learning how to produce someone else. Will you help me get their essence? And you're like, yes, it's a Saturday and man, it's hard to tell my family, but I'm going to call you because I know you need help. I felt really bad about that. But
No,
the
it's fine.
dedication with which you show up to help people show up in that way, because music is medicine. And without someone like you helping that voice come through, the medicine can't be heard so beautifully. I heard kirtan when I was a teenager songwriter, and I could not wrap my brain around making that music myself because it didn't come across in the same musical way as the kind of productions that you put together and now I'm putting together in a more pleasing Western
Yeah, more
quality.
format kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just want to say I'm really excited to see what happens in the future musically for you. I know you've got big things ahead, and thank you for being a part of One Heart TV today. And we're
Thank you.
gonna
Uh,
go ahead.
I'm
Um,
going for my next album is going to be New Age Radiohead.
yes, I can't wait. It's perfect. Is that coming out next year, 2021?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Let me know if I can help
I'm
because I want
struggling
to
with
hear
it because
that.
I don't know exactly where it's headed. It's one of those creative journeys where you just kind of dive in and who knows where you end up.
Yeah. Well,
But the latest
blessings.
is I would love for it to sound like New Age Radiohead. I mean, I don't even want to like put myself in that caliber, but
You can do it if
Radiohead,
anyone.
but just their sound and their sort of epic kind of, and they have the searching quality too. I find with
Hmm.
Tom York's vocals and whatnot. It's just like, just feels like transcendental stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Radiohead stuff. So
I love that
anyway, but
sound, and you can do it, and I can't wait to hear it. So check it out at benleinbachmusic.com. Um,
thanks,
I'm
Joe.
also gonna end today's show with Mantra Sangha Health and Healing music video. And if you have any words that you would like to say about that production, you helped with the beginnings of my first production baby from my little studio here, and so here's the audio and the video of it coming out. Mantra Sangha Health and Healing official music video. I wanted to thank you, Ben, for donating your time
Well,
to
thank you for having
help
me.
get that off the ground.
Oh, for that, yeah,
Yeah, and for today, both of that.
yes, thank
So
you.
blessings, Ben. I will see you soon in the virtual world as we finish up these projects. Check him out, benleinbach.com, johannasings.com, and I will see you on another day, brother.
All
Uh,
right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Peace.
Those of you, peace out. Those of you who are still with me here, I am so honored to be letting you know that this in December, I'm going to be doing some offerings, some more offerings. I'll have a live stream solstice concert on December the 20th. So join me online on Facebook, on YouTube, on all of the platforms for that and Spirituality Gone Wild. And I'm going to be taking a little break from the show, but I'm going to be coming out with some lullaby yoga content that you can turn into a little piece of magical puddle with me in a restorative yoga practice and sound healing where I sing and offer aroma adjustments in a beautiful way. So join us on One Heart TV coming up, and I look forward to seeing you at johannasings.com. If you have any questions, info@johannasings.com. I'd love to tune in and see how I might serve your purpose. Thank you so much, and Mantra Sangha, health and healing on its way. Blessings. One Heart. Oh, or we can't play the video right now, and you'll have to look it up on YouTube. We're going to put it in the chat. That's Mantra Sangha, Health and Healing, official music video. And please check it out at your earliest convenience. I'm going to end then with a little bit of a song to close our time together. So let's just take a breath in, deep breath in, and exhale. And this is a new song that I'm going to be releasing coming up with Valerie Romanoff and out in New York. It's called Our Reality.
Oh, 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 oh.
We daydream our reality into existence. So be in possibility, believe that we are free to choose our reality. We daydream our reality into existence. So be in positivity, believe that we are free to choose our reality. Here I am, I am here, here I am, I am here, all is here, all is now, all is here, all is now. All is now. Oh, yeah. All is now. I am now. I am here. Here I am now. I am here. Here I am now. I am here. Here I am now. I am here. Oh, 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 oh. Here I am now. Oh, 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 oh. I am here. Oh, 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 oh. Here I am now. Oh, 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 oh. I am here. We daydream our reality into existence. So be in positivity, believe that we are free to choose our reality. Here I am, Shift this longing into belonging to my truest self. I clean the mirror, the view gets clearer. I see my sacred self. I forgive myself, I free myself, I forgive myself, I respect myself, yes I give to myself, I love myself, I remember my present self, and shift this longing into belonging to my truest self. Yes, I clean the mirror, the view gets clearer. I see my sacred self. Join us for One Heart TV back in the new year. January we'll be coming back. One Heart TV. This is Johanna Beekman. Johanna One Heart. I'll see you soon, family. I love you. Blessings. See my sacred self. Okay, so you can join us for the album release of this in 2021. Because now is the time, and here is the place. I'll live my life, remembering my grace. And now is the time. One Heart Festival is coming up in February. Join me on December 20th for a live stream on all platforms. Now is the time, and here is the place. I'll live my life, remembering my grace, yes.